Hi everyone, welcome back into another video. A few things to talk about in terms of what's going on next year, more updates on riders and where they're filling in. The last video we did about that was quite popular. And then some interesting stats about these videos and how it all went last year with them. Let's get straight into it. So first things first, hope you like the new intro. Some of the footage that the Honda guys I did with them last year and they said I could use it. So yeah, updated introduction and a few of the boys in there and it's like, yeah, just new start for a new year. So I got an email from YouTube last week basically saying, thanks for everything you did in 2024. Obviously they send this to everybody. And some interesting summary of numbers from the videos from last year. And some of the numbers surprised me and thought it'd be interesting just to sort of share it with you. I spoke to a few people about it and they were like, oh, that's quite interesting. Maybe you should tell the story. So again, I don't know if you're going to even be interested in this. If you are, great. If you're not, then go and watch something else. So one of the first things that grabbed my attention was that last year we had nearly 500,000 views and it's just a number, isn't it? It's just a number, 500,000. It's 480 something thousand, I think. But if you ever picture that amount of people, and I know like the same people tend to watch these videos, so it's not like 500,000 different people. But when you see, I was refer to like football stadiums, so when you see Wembley full and it's got 80 odd thousand people in, yeah, that's only like a small proportion of the amount of views you got last year, which is crazy. And like, I can't even imagine a load of people sat there watching that. But yeah, it's great that we're kind of getting that exposure and people are just interested in what we're doing and what we've got to say. So yeah, thanks, and let's see where that goes next year. Maybe we could double that and do 1 million in a year, who knows. Obviously everything we do on this channel is so seasonal, so like between May and June, massive spike, then nothing in July, August and September, massive spike, and then nothing again until the following summer. Like we did the video back in October and that got a little bit of interest, a bit of traction about like the new rider lineups and things like that. So maybe we'll do a bit more, but like not doing this because we want to get loads of views. It's just, it's interesting to see like what you make videos about and how popular they are. And sometimes you think, I can't believe that's so popular and vice versa. And that's really relevant when I look at the most popular video from last year. It was the ride I did. I took the blade out and put the camera on the helmet and just did a lap, having a look at the course. And I didn't think that would be popular at all, but it was. It was our most popular video last year. Got nearly 70,000 views on that one video. And again, you just don't know, do you? You don't know what's going to be popular. And then the other things that are popular are like preview stuff. So when you're saying, write the preview for the TT or the Grand Prix, and people are already like excited for it and they're interested to see what everyone else thinks, they tend to do well. And summary videos as well, talking about the way practice week's gone, race week's gone. So it's not a huge surprise, but the top one definitely was a surprise. And then we go on to the next part, and it's to do with the demographics of the people who watch the videos. And it's no great surprise, is it, that we're in a sport that's massively male dominated. Motorsport is anyway. So what do you think, percentage-wise, the split male and female on the views is? Like 70-30, 80-20? It's 93.5% male. So I'm like, that is higher than I thought it would be, but again, not particularly surprised. What's probably surprised me a little bit more is the age of people who watch them. So if you'd said to me beforehand, like, what's the average age of someone who watches your video, I'd probably say 40s to 50s maybe, like somewhere around my age. So I'm like 42 now. And I'd say that from here onwards, because anyone younger is more interested in, just wants to know about the racing and the speed and the action. And people who are older tend to be more interested in what goes on behind the scenes. I'm not saying that's across the board because there's loads of young people who are interested in it, but in general. But the split's a bit more than I thought. So the most popular category is 55 to 64. And the second most popular is 65 plus. And then we're 45 to 54. They're very, very close. And then it peters off as you go down, 35 to 44, 25 to 34. And then 0.1% of the viewers are under 18. So like, definitely not down with the kids, are we? Definitely not cool with the kids. But that's okay. They'll eventually get older and start watching some of the stuff. But yeah, I was just interested in those. Whether you agree with me and think that's interesting or not, I don't know. So then we move on to where all the viewers have come from, like the literal geographic location of where these viewers are, or where they're from anyway. So obviously, it's no surprise, UK and Isle of Man takes the top spot. Then Ireland, Australia, New Zealand. And loads of views from Australia. And I know TT's popular out there, and it is in New Zealand as well, but that's just obviously the split there just because there's more people in Australia. So obviously we're going to get a massive following from English speaking, and then after that, it's going to dwindle down. And it's no surprise that the most common country after the English speaking nations, no surprise at all when you think about TT, is Germany. And then Netherlands, France, Spain, Sweden, and it just peters off down through into some proper unknown stuff down the bottom. So when you take into account the English-speaking nations, UK, United States is second, Isle of Man, which is kind of interesting. I get more views from the United States of America than I do from the Isle of Man, and it, obviously, percentage-wise, the Isle of Man's way above, but literally just to do with the size of the populations in those countries, a small percentage of America is way bigger than a massive percentage of the Isle of Man. But more people in America watching the videos than the Isle of Man. But yeah, so after you get out of, when you take into account the UK, the US, Isle of Man, Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand, you're talking at about 85% of the views, which not a huge surprise. But again, just interesting. Well, I think it's interesting, and I'm a bit nerdy when it comes to numbers and stats like that. You might not think it is, but I thought it was quite interesting. So that's the stats from last year. So one of the big things that came out last week from Lee Johnston is that he's not going to do road racing this year, and I did not see that coming at all. Like, I thought he was. If you're like me and you watch pretty much everything that Lee does on YouTube, because he's informative, he's interesting, he's funny, he's a nice guy, he makes good videos. I always got the feeling that everything he was working towards to get back fit to ride this year was mainly because he had to come back and do the TT. Like for himself, who's desperate to come back and compete and do well at the TT. And I know before his accident, he was leading British Supersport Championship, and I know that's important to him too. But I always feel like for road racers like him, like Hickman, you know, the people, Davey Todd, the people who put that, I think they put that above everything else. That was the priority. But Lee's taking a ride with the Triumph team, the name escapes me at the moment, that are a good team. And obviously he said that in his own videos, and he knows that that bike will give him a good chance of winning British Supersport. And I completely agree with him. If he can't have a ride on the roads that's competitive, and he doesn't want to go with a team that's got a bit of experience, because you need to have a lot if you're going to go and try and win it. And he doesn't want to go with a new team, and he'd rather not do it at all than go there with something he wasn't completely happy with. And I completely get that and agree with it. And I don't know, but I'm assuming he's probably had a decent offer to do some media work for either the radio or the TV or whoever is going to be employing him for TT. I wouldn't be surprised, and I think we're all hoping that he is going to be here, and I'm sure he'll be here anyway, and working here and giving us the benefit of his insight, of knowledge. But he's funny, he comes across, anyway, we all know Lee's great, he'll be here, but just disappointed that he's not going to be racing, because that's what he's best at, and that's what we all want to see him doing. Still don't really know what's going on with Paget's. Haven't heard any confirmation that Hutchie's going to be there. I thought Lee might have ended up going back there. He's rode for Clive before and done well there. As far as I know, well, I haven't heard anything, but I haven't heard Hutchie going anywhere else, so he could still be there. And is it a one-man team? One rider team? Don't know. So that's, it's not saying it's concerning, it's just would be nice to sort of know where they're at. I heard nothing about Josh Brooks, like we talked about last time. Obviously moving teams to Dow Honda, but I haven't heard any confirmation of them changing their mind and coming back to the roads, because you don't know if that was part of his negotiation with the team, was like, I still want to do TT, so can we go back and do the roads? They've got the experience to do it. But I haven't heard anything, so don't know anything about that. I've heard a rumour that Connor will be riding a Ducati in Supersport. So one of the guys from the Burrows Engineering actually commented on the last video where I talked about Connor moving there and him not having a 600, and he completely corrected me and said, yeah, of course we do, we always run R6s. And when you think about it, I can just picture the Burrows Engineering R6 now. But they're, from what I've heard, I don't know if it's true, they're going to switch to the Ducati Panigale V2s, which is a roomier bike, I guess, for Connor. And yeah, it's exciting to see them. Like Davey Todd's was good last year. But I haven't heard going from that, I haven't heard anything about Davey Todd and his Supersport entry. Because obviously FHO, and they'll supply him the Superbikes and the Stockers like they do for Hickman. And then obviously Hickman runs his own Triumph in Supersport and Yamaha in Super Twins. So I'm assuming Davey's going to have the same freedom to go and get a ride with somebody else. Maybe Hickey will put him on one of his bikes because it's called PHR, isn't it? Peter Hickman Racing. They supply and build and maintain and tune. Maybe they'll put Davey on one. Looks like Hickey's really keen to help Davey along. He's not going to be like, well, you're my teammate now and I need to beat you. Although he will be, but I think he's still happy to help him. Like, he is he's the next generation, isn't he now, Davey? And yeah, interesting to see what comes from that. Obviously, all this information that I'm like giving you, it's not like I've got an inside track or I've got any knowledge about this from the teams. I just literally hear stuff on the rumour mill like everybody else, and then just tell everyone who watches these who wants to listen. But it's only like talking to your mates about it. I'm just a TT fan, the same as everybody else. Yeah, okay, I'm involved in it in an organisational point of view, but right now I don't have any information. I'm just talking to you like anybody else who's interested in who's riding for who at the TT. So all it is my opinion, and I'm just telling you what I think. So like I said in the last video, Christmas will come and go quick and we'll be moving on fast, and it has come and gone, and now it's the first week of Jan and we're starting to look at what's coming going forward. So some of the boys have either done or they've got coming up their technical training for the scrutineering part of our qualification. And then we've got the IMC courses coming, which I think nearly all of us are doing on this round. So that's the incident management course. All marshals take this now, I think all marshals do it. And obviously it's to do with managing an incident. So we attend as well, and we need to be signed off on that too. I can't remember exactly which date we're doing. Is it the 26th, I think? So if any of you guys are on that, that one's sold out anyway. Any of you guys who are on it, we'll see you there for that. Always good. They're always good to do because you're learning. But it's also good to get back into meeting the people who you're going to be seeing at TT, because sometimes you don't see these people all winter, and so it's nice. It feels like TT's coming because we're getting together again to prepare for TT. So it's on its way. It's like pre-season training. So yeah, looking forward to it. Just looking forward to just getting everything started for this year, because we all know it's a long old winter. We've just had this week of weather, haven't we? If you have a look at the bungalow webcam today, it's definitely no racing up there. But yeah, it'll soon pass, and TT's coming. And I keep saying it every year, but we've definitely got to be due a good week of weather this year. After last year. God, last year was bad. Grand Prix and TT. But yeah, anyway, we'll get to that. So for us, haven't got much more to say. The new helmet. So when you go to Motorcycle Live, I think they call it, at the NEC, I normally bring next year's TT lid and they show it off there. So here's a quick picture of it. Colour-wise, obviously it's very similar to last year's, but I think the design's a little bit nicer. So again, that's a nice lid. Not going to be for everyone, and a lot of people are going to tell me how it's a rip-off and they shouldn't be doing it, but I guarantee they'll sell them all. So RI just know what they're doing. And Tony said he's put our order in, say for our sizes, so they know which ones we need. So really looking forward to getting those. And again, can't thank RI enough for all that help. We've had no news about bikes or anything yet. So to be honest, we never really do. It's normally Tony sorts it all out. He's speaking to RST and RI and Honda, doing all of the work for us all the time, and it'll be all getting sorted out, and it'll just be a case of just let you know, lads, the bike's here next week, and we're like, and then instead of being built up to it, it's just a case they're coming, they'll be here next week. Make sure you're down at the boat on whatever day it is, and yeah, that'll come quick too. So looking forward to that. Just everything just goes so fast, doesn't it? It feels like it's a long winter, and it is, but year after year after year just goes so fast. And going into my 9th year now as a TM, which is crazy. I can't believe it's been nearly 10 years. And 8-man team again this year. Same as last year. We had a Christmas party a few weeks ago that we all managed to get to, and along with the wives and girlfriends, but also any of the old TMs. So we have a group on our WhatsApp, which is for all the current and past TMs, for organising nights out and things like this. So always good those. Always good to speak to the other old guys like Keith. Keith's funny. And if you saw any of the videos that Keith did for the Marshall's channel at Grand Prix, just go watch them. I'll put a link below. They're funny. Keith's such a character. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to talk about those few things. Obviously, I'll keep videos coming. The next thing, really, there might be some more news in the next couple of months, but it's just kind of sit and wait for the message to know that the bikes are coming. And then I think I'll try and do some more videos on that running process about how we get those bikes ready for TT instead of the bikes are here. I've already done them running in, all my stuff's on them, and TT starts next week. Maybe try and do it a bit more progressive. If that's what you guys would like to see, let me know. Apart from that, Happy New Year to everybody, and roll on TT 2025. See you in the next one.